Welcome back, U.S. history students. I hope everyone had a nice and relaxing weekend. Today, we are going to be starting our third unit in U.S. history. So, just a quick reminder before we get going. Unit 1, we focused on colonization of the Americas. Okay, that was Unit 1. That led into we focused on the Revolutionary Era and War. So that was Unit 2. And then really what we're focusing on in Unit 3 is the foundations of government in America. And if we're just following this timeline, it makes sense that we're going to be focusing on the creation of government because the Revolutionary War saw the United States form as a new nation. And one of the first things this new nation has to figure out is how are we going to set up a system of government that provides the people with those rights that were talked about in the Declaration of Independence, while also allowing the country to be run efficiently. So we're really going to be looking into a lot of these government concepts in Unit 3. But remember, as we've talked about before, we can't keep these units in a box, right? They are all connected. This is a story we are telling. Okay, so that's a quick little reminder of how this story connects. To get us started today, we have aim and do now. So our aim says, how can we summarize the purpose of the Articles of Confederation while identifying how the government was structured? So our main concept today is what is known as the Articles of Confederation. And this is the first attempt at creating a government for the United States. So we're trying to figure out the purpose of this, and then how was this government structured? Where is the power distributed? Okay. For our do now, it asks, what impact did the Revolutionary War have on the American people? So we talked a lot about causes leading up to the Revolutionary War. Now this do now is trying to have you think about what is an effect of that war? What is a result of that war, and how does it impact the American people? So you can pause this video, jot down your ideas for your do now, and then we'll meet together at the fast facts. Okay, so our fast facts for today. Bullet 1, the Americans defeat the British in the Revolutionary War, gaining their independence. And if I'm being completely honest, this is the most important takeaway from the Revolutionary War. A new nation is created. The United States of America is formed as a result of this Revolutionary War. And it also does shift around the power balance worldwide. All right, Britain was a very strong colonial power. Being defeated by their colonies is a major mark on their record, right? They're seen as a little bit weaker as a result of this loss, but America is formed as a country. Bullet 2, no longer under the rule of the British, the Americans must decide how to set up their country. How should the United States government be structured? Strong central government or strong states? And that's really the central question that we're going to be looking at today. When the United States creates their first government, are they going to give a lot of power to the states? Are they going to distribute power to the various regions of the country? Or are they going to consolidate the power in a central government, meaning the power is located in one place, and that place and those people rule over the whole of the country? All right. So the first government that is created is named the Articles of Confederation. All right. And we also see that this time period after the Revolutionary War is known as the critical period. And it gets this nickname because there's really two paths the United States can go. They can develop and build themselves into a successful nation, or they could kind of see this great experiment in creating a nation fall apart. All right, there's really two paths that the country can go on. And it is seen as a critical period because if the decisions are made incorrectly, the United States could cease to exist. Okay. For bullet 5, we have a couple of definitions. So when we see the term state government, we're talking about a government that specifically makes and enforces laws for a specific state. Okay? So, for example, when New York State passes a law, that law is only for the people within New York State. Whereas a central government is a government or authority that controls a nation. All right? So, if a national law is passed, right, that's created by the central government, that means all people in the nation are now subject to that law. So these are a couple terms we need to understand before we move on. All right, moving into our activity for today. We just did the fast facts. We have 2 thinking questions. I want you to think through those. All right, these are kind of critical thinking questions. I don't expect perfection. They're trying to get you to think and try to place this topic in kind of the timeline of U.S. history that we've created so far. Okay, so you're going to do the thinking questions, and then an extension of the thinking questions is this chart you can see on the bottom of the first page. Okay, and this is trying to get you to think about a couple of different combinations of how this government could be structured for the United States. So you're thinking about, all right, in this first box, I'm putting together a strong central government would be good for a new nation because, so why would giving a lot of power to a president or a monarch be good for a new nation? And you're writing those ideas down here. The right-hand side of that, you're thinking about why would giving a lot of power to the central government maybe be a bad idea? And you're jotting down your ideas there. All right, so this chart's trying to have you think about these different combinations and what could be positive and what could be negative about how power is distributed in this new form of government. Once you finish up that chart and those thinking questions, you will be using a primary source to conclude today's activity. All right, we have the Articles of Confederation, and this is actually some excerpts from that document. Okay, so the document that creates the first form of government in the United States, we're going to be reading through it to understand how this government is set up. So let's remember our document analysis questions. Read your question first, create your sentence starter based on that. Then we're going to go back to that text, underline the text for where that information responds to the question. And step 4, we're going to be plugging in your answer. Okay, so we're going to be using this text to assist us. Use those document analysis steps to determine how the Articles of Confederation is structured and where power is going. The last part of the assignment today is another one of our 3-2-1 summary tasks, and you are going to be asked about 3 details about how the Articles of Confederation is structured. Who has the power? I would recommend you use the text previously for that. 2 reasons why the Americans created a government in this manner. So the whys. So once you have the structure explained here, why is the United States choosing to give power to these people? What in the past have they experienced that leads them to constructing the government in this way? And then one prediction for the future of this government. Do you think it will succeed or do you think it will fail? Today is a live teaching day, so we will not have Zoom office hours. If you have any questions or concerns, feel free to reach out to me. I hope you guys are doing well, and I will speak with you soon.
Hey, what's going on?